Hey there, cats and kittens. Welcome back to TBBAT's Coffee Break with Drake. We have another exciting episode today. We are going to be doing a review of the Yellow Bourbon Arabica bean. What is that? Well, up until recently, I didn't know either. So let's find out together more about the bean, the coffee, and all that jazz. Coming up next, stick around. When I was in Chiang Mai, Thailand, and I stopped off at the coffee tour up in the Karen Hill Tribe area, I was introduced to the concept of other types of Arabica beans, and this was the Yellow Bourbon variety. Never heard of it before. If you have seen coffee cherries before, you know that they are typically red. Arabica, Robusta, it doesn't matter, they're red. Well, there is a variety of Arabica bean called the Yellow Bourbon, and as the name suggests, they are yellow. I actually got to see, pick, and taste. That's right, they let us eat the cherries right off the vine, and they are very interesting and good. They do taste a little different, obviously, because they're a different variety than the red Arabica cherries, but I was fascinated by it. So they didn't sell it there, but as soon as I got back home, I went online and looked for it, and lo and behold, I found it. It is very expensive, as specialty coffees like these tend to be. So this here is Orfu. This is out of Brazil. So this is Bourbon Amarelo. It's 100% Arabica, and this is 250 grams. Now, I did the math. It works out to about 8.8 ounces, I believe, is what it said on Amazon when I purchased it. And the math works out to, this costs $20, 8.8 ounces, comes out to about $2.50 an ounce. So this is expensive. You don't get a lot of it, but that's okay. Again, specialty coffees, this happens. They are not produced in as much quantity as your typical coffees. It takes more effort and energy to actually pick the beans. They have to pay their workers, and then they export it. It costs a lot of money. So now this is all in Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese, so I cannot read this, all of it. So yeah, there is a QR code there. If you want to check it out, you can scan it. Other than that, I'm not really interested too much in the brand anyway, as it's the bean itself. It was, yeah. So anyway, there's not too much about this. It says, I'm going to guess the pick date or the roast date was 3/12/24, and whatever the expiration date or whatever that might be. It says Fab and Val. I don't know what that means. 3/12/25. So this looks like it's on the tail end. And then, yeah. Sorry, guys. There's just not a lot on this in English, and I don't speak Portuguese. So why don't we get right into it? Let's bust this bad boy open. From what I have heard and understood, this is going to be kind of like a citrusy type flavor, smell, bean, etc. I have never tried it. I have eaten one, but I've never actually had it. Oh, wow. This is definitely a very light smell to it, which I like. The coffee beans look very nice, very lightly roasted. This is my favorite color when it comes to coffee beans roasted. This is a very light roast, is what it looks like. So I have high expectations for this coffee. Now, what's interesting to note when it comes to the smell, you can really smell the beans. So I highly encourage you, if you're getting into coffee, is spend not as much time, but spend a good amount of time smelling the coffee, especially in its different stages, and you'll notice so much unique variety. The roast aside, the beans themselves all smell very different. But when you get that nice light roast coffee, you can really smell the beans. And you can actually, kind of smell where it's coming from. It's nice. I really enjoy it. It's almost as much fun as drinking. Actually, I'll be honest with you. I'm a big smell person. Smell a lot. I have a very heightened sense of smell. I've mentioned this before in my other reviews. It is not a superpower that you want. It's actually a curse for so many reasons. But what I will say is this. Because of that, when you get a smell you enjoy, you really enjoy it. So I really do enjoy this smell, as I do with most light roast coffees. I think this is going to be a good one. My spider senses are tingling. So let's see how it goes. Okay. Forgot to put our cup out earlier, so we'll put our cup out. Let's pop this off. Give it a snifferoo. I like it. Very good. I like that. Look at that nice light roast. Perfect. I have a feeling this is going to be a really good taste. We will find out very soon. All right, so I have my 10 ounces of water already loaded in here. And we're going to let this go. And we'll brew it up. Now, let me pop this back up there. So, I found this on Amazon. You can find these pretty much, it's hard to find, but you can find them. This does say Citrus de Tangerina, Citrisas de Tangerina as notes. So we should be getting the citrusy, fruity notes that come along with light roast. But the yellow bourbon bean is supposed to be like a more citrusy bean anyway. So it should be interesting. As much as I want this to be an awesome coffee, because you want to have good tasting coffee, I'm afraid that it might be like a really good tasting coffee. Then I got to go out and buy it more and more and more. And it's pretty expensive. So let's see what happens after this brews up. I have a feeling it's going to be good. While this is brewing up, I just want to show you really quickly. I was able to find online, this is what the yellow bourbon beans look like. Pretty cool. They definitely had a unique taste to them. And then you can kind of see compared to the red beans of the typical Arabica, that's right there what the differences look like. That's done brewing. So let's talk really quickly. The name, even though it's called Yellow Bourbon, it's not because it has like a bourbon taste to it or anything like that. It's actually from an island off of Madagascar or near Madagascar called like Yellow Bourbon or something like that. So that's where it gets its name. It does not have anything to do with the flavoring. So you can see it's got that nice light brown coloration. Very light citrusy kind of smell to it. So it's a little hot, but let's give it a whirl. My first taste of yellow bourbon coffee, the Arabica bean, I'm very excited for. Let's try. Ooh, that is, ooh-wee. That is a classic light roast right there for you. You're getting punched in the face with like a grapefruit. Jeez. Imagine, that those classic commercials with the Hawaiian Punch guy. He's like, how about a nice Hawaiian Punch? This is like, how about a nice grapefruit in your in your mouth hole? This is a very, very, very sour front end to this coffee. Again, I will say this over and over again. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Light roast coffees tend to be have that sour citrus flavoring, and this is strong, 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 strong. The strongest citrus upfront taste I think I've ever tasted. So it's very interesting. It kind of melts on your tongue, and there's really no aftertaste. There's not a bitter aftertaste that comes with the darker roasts and some of the other beans. Very good. I like it. Not a daily drinker. If you've seen my reviews, you know I will kind of make a comment every once in a while whether something's a daily drinker or not. Sometimes I would say it's not a daily drinker because it's too expensive. Sometimes I say it's not a daily drinker because its flavor is unique and it's good, but it's not something that you'd want every single day. Sorry, that's my guy. My guy Jax is shaking off. It's funny because I used to leave his collar on during the day, and I noticed that during the reviews he'd always shake and make a ton of noise, and then I have to stop and recut. So I decided, well, I'll take it off this time. But he's trying to get under his blankets, which is a whole process, and of course he gave a big shake, and now he's staring at me. So yeah, he is staring at me, expecting me to get him into his blanket, and this is what that looks like if you're curious. He's just staring at me. He wants me to tuck him in. So I will have to take care of that in a second. But anyway, all back to what we're talking about here. It's hard to get. You get distracted because look at that face. He's such a guy. This is very good. I really enjoy it. I maybe a light chocolate, but not a lot. I was reading that it might have a kind of a citrus and also chocolate tones to it. I suppose there might be some chocolate tones in there on the back, but your front bam of citrus is going to really overwhelm everything. So I do like it. Another unique experience. I do suggest you try it. If you're able to find something for a decent price or you're out and about and you find something at a coffee shop, give it a whirl. Again, just for the experience and the notch on your bedpost of the different varieties that you've tried. However, because of the price and it's also unique flavor profile, it's not an everyday drinker, but still a very interesting, unique, and good quality coffee. Now this is, again, Orfu is the name brand of this. There are going to be different varieties out there. This is just the most cost-efficient one that I found, and that's what I ended up with. All that being said, I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. All that being said, you are watching TBBAT's Coffee Break with Drake. Thanks for checking me out. Please like and subscribe. I have a ton of other videos, all kinds of coffees, and even more coming up. These are my 2025 coffee reviews. I am so excited for the ones I've already done, the ones I will be doing. There's a lot of cool stuff up here, guys. This is definitely in the weeds, more coffee, I want to say expert level stuff, but for people that really like coffee, these are going to be really interesting reviews. I'm more of a novice when it comes to coffee, so trying to describe these interesting and unique coffees and expensive coffees is going to be fun. And please, if you are an expert coffee drinker and you've had experience with these coffees and you think I might be right, I might be wrong, you have your own opinions on it, I'd love to hear about it. I don't get a lot of interactions in my, in the chat down below, but I would love to hear your views on it. And if you've taken my reviews before and you have tried the coffees, let me know if you think I'm right, wrong, or whatever. Cheers, and we'll see you in the next video. Oh, hope your 2025 is going awesome. Bye.